Okay? Okay, thank you all for making it for today's session. What I'm going to be doing today is going through some of the common mistakes, but I just thought I would annotate the entire paper so that you can use this as a reference for your corrections on Monday when we go through the paper, okay? Now, before I begin, how many of you felt like this paper was quite easy? Can you please raise your hands so that I can see? How many of you felt this paper was quite easy, was quite manageable? Okay. I think that's about 3/4 of you feel that it was quite easy. How many of you felt it was quite difficult? Like there were some tricky questions, it was not easy to do, or you didn't have enough time to finish it. Can I just see a show of hands? Like anybody felt that you didn't have enough time to finish? Okay, I see one or two of you, or three of you, okay? Yeah, okay. So it's okay, right? It doesn't matter whether you find it easy or difficult. The important thing is that you've tried, right? And you've given it your best shot. And that's all I ask of you at this stage, okay? So now we are going to go through together, and let's see if you can remember what you wrote, as well as what are some of the mistakes that you made, okay? And feel free to stop me and ask me along the way if you have any questions, all right? Toshinov, you can lower your hand now, right? Otherwise, I will think that you are raising your hands to ask a question, okay? So whenever you raise your hands, please lower it after I've acknowledged that you have raised it, okay? So that way I will not be confused. Thank you, Toshinov. That's good. Okay, so number one, I think most of you got it correct. So I'm not going to go very quickly. I'll go very quickly into it. So Ethan's stomach rumbled or growled. Okay, so your stomach growls, right? Why does your stomach growl? Can anyone tell me why does your stomach growl? Okay, yes, Toshinath, why does your stomach growl?
Because he skipped lunch when he was hungry.
Okay, so you're hungry or because you have skipped lunch or breakfast, okay? So growling stomachs usually refer to someone feeling a sense of hunger. Who was the character that was feeling hungry that we learned about very, very early on this year? Evelyn? You need to unmute for us to hear you. Don't forget.
Ethan.
Sorry?
Ethan is the boy who...
No, it wasn't Ethan, right? Can anybody remember the character that was hungry from the very beginning of this year? Sinlin, go ahead.
Fearless Phil.
Yeah, Fearless Phil, right? Remember we were talking about how Fearless Phil was climbing the mountain and he was feeling hungry, remember? And how he met all these animals that stopped him from eating his lunch, okay? So stomach growl was from Fearless Phil. So this was actually linked to what we learned, huh? Okay, number two, after winning the championship in the singing competition, right? How would winning a championship make you feel, right? What is the word that you would use to explain the feeling you get when you win something? Okay, which one do you think it was? Zain, which one was it? Zain, you need to unmute. Don't forget everybody before you answer. Sorry, Zain, go ahead.
As proud as a peacock.
Okay, thank you. Very good. It's as proud as a peacock, right? So you are proud after you finish winning something, right? You would feel a sense of accomplishment or pride. Pride is the word that I want you to remember. Pride is what you describe your feeling of being proud as. You are full of pride, okay? So you are proud as a peacock. Very good. So far, is everybody getting it correct? Yes. Okay. So I think we got this part we did it quite well. So I don't think many of us had any problems. So I'm going through very quickly. So this question 3. Now, question 3 is the one where some of you made a mistake. Okay. So you all must be very careful. You must read the clues very carefully. The burglar. Now, does anybody not know what a burglar is? Anybody here doesn't know what a burglar is? Okay. Who can tell me in another word? What is a burglar? Can you give me another word for the word burglar? Someone besides Toshanath or Evelyn or Sinlin? Because they've answered before. Mushan, what about you?
A thief.
A thief. Very good, right? So a burglar is someone who steals something, right? You steal something, you're a thief, right? You go into a house and then you burgle it, right? The action of burgling it or stealing something is what makes you a burglar. So if you are stealing something, would you walk into the house loudly and proudly? Would you do that? No, right? Quite the opposite, right? You wouldn't loudly and proudly go in and say, I'm stealing something now, right? That would be really silly, right? Okay, that's not what burglars, that's not what thieves do, right? What do thieves and burglars do? They sneak, right? They sneak into a place or they sneak into a situation to steal something. So in this case, which word has the same meaning as to sneak, to not draw attention to yourself, to be very secretive when you're walking in? Which word is the closest to that meaning, right? Okay. Declan, would you like to try?
Crap.
Crept, right? Yes, very good. So did you choose the word crept, Declan, in your answer?
You don't know.
When you were completing your WA, did you choose the word crept in your answer?
Do you remember?
I don't.
No, you just tell, Mr. Pan.
I don't remember.
You don't remember. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Right. How many of you wrote crept for this? Okay. Right. Who didn't write crept? Who didn't write crept? Who wrote another answer? Okay, Evan, Ashley, what did you write? Can you tell us what you wrote?
Number 2.
Number 2, amble, is it? Is it because you didn't know what the word amble means and you were guessing? Yeah, right. Okay. So first of all, right, if you all don't know the meaning of a word, right, be very careful before you choose it, because very often, right, it is a word that you know the meaning of. Because usually for WAs, right, they will try to test you based on what you've already learned. Okay. So amble means to walk in a very relaxed way. Okay. In a very relaxed way, like you have no care in the world, like you're taking your own sweet time. Have you heard of that before? Taking your own sweet time, right? Like you're not hurrying, right? You're just walking slowly and enjoying the scenery. Like when you're in a park, right? You amble because you're not in a hurry to go anywhere. Do you think a thief or a robber or a burglar would amble? Right? Not really, correct? Because they're usually in a hurry, right? They want to go in, steal the thing, and rush out as quickly as possible. I don't think they want to slowly walk and admire the scenery, right? Okay. So that's probably not the correct answer. Evelyn, you raised your hand. What is it?
I'm doing something.
Is amble also like strolling in the park?
Yes, another word can be stroll. You're right. Okay, so the word amble can also mean to stroll, and stroll also means to walk in a very relaxed way, right? You're not in a hurry to get anywhere. You are not rushing to go from one place to another. You are taking your own sweet time, and you are admiring the scenery. So the word stroll also has that meaning. Very good. Okay, thank you. Let's move on. Question number 4. I'm going to go very quickly after this question because the rest are quite easy. So the team, because they could not play in the competition. Okay, so the team they could not play in the competition. Do you think this is plus or minus? Do you think it's positive or negative? Evan, what do you think? Do you think this is a positive or negative thing?
Negative.
Very good. It's very negative, right? So do you think they'll be happy? No, right? So which word do you think here tells me that they are not happy?
Number 4.
Number 4, very good. Can you all see that number 1, 2, and 3 are all positive? Can you all see that? Okay, number 1 is ecstatic, very happy. It can't be that, right? Number 2 is relieved. Phew, I'm so glad that I didn't get into trouble. That also cannot be the answer, right? Number 3 is even worse, cheerful. Yay! You cannot play in the game, in the competition. Yay! Does anybody ever react that way? No, right? It's really weird, right? So that can't be it. So even if you don't know what the word dejected means, can you see that by cancelling out the rest, I arrive at the correct answer? Yes? So one way of choosing the right answer is to know which one it is. Another way to do it is to cancel out all the wrong answers until you are left with only one. And that is likely the correct answer. Do you all understand? Everybody? So if you don't know which one is the right answer, then the next best thing is to cancel out all the wrong answers until you're left with one. And that is usually the right answer. Is everybody clear? Okay, so you can use this strategy when you don't know the answer. then you just cancel out the answers that you know are wrong until you're left with the correct one. Okay, so enough said about that. This is the only negative answer that's left. Everything else is positive. So therefore, the answer is number 4. Dejected means very disappointed. Not just normally disappointed, but very disappointed. That's why there's a different word for it, called dejected. Dejected is when you feel a great sense of disappointment. For example, Mr. Pang felt dejected because he did not win the $1,000 lucky draw prize. Okay, Mr. Pang felt dejected because he did not win the $1,000 lucky draw prize. Okay, so that could be that sense of great disappointment because I wanted to win it so much. Okay, next question, number 5. Jake walked what into the dark cave? The key word here is unafraid. Unafraid of any danger. Okay, so if you are unafraid of any danger, which word should it be? It's quite straightforward, right? Okay, Clavius?
Fearlessly.
Fearlessly. And who was fearless in the stories that we recently read, Clavius? Which character?
Fearless
Yes,
Phil.
that's right. Correct. Again, this is from Fearless Phil, right? A lot of the vocabulary words are from Unit 1 and 2, okay, which are the 2 units that we were tested on. So can y'all see? It's very familiar words, right? Fearless Phil was fearless, right? So he said, I'm not afraid of you, right? You don't scare me, right? And then when he flexed his muscles, right, that were as big as the rocks in the river, what happened? Right? Like as fast as light came bouncing back, all the animals went, right, bolting down the mountain track. Remember? That was part of the story, okay? So Fearless Phil was fearless, okay? He was fearless, and therefore he was not afraid of any danger. So it's right here. Here, I know the answer. So I don't even need to look at the rest of the answers. I already know the answer. So it's the opposite of question 4. I know the answer. I choose the answer. That is the correct one, okay? So let's move on. Okay, I'm going to go super fast now. Okay, mother wakes up too. Now, everybody remember what Mr. Pang said. Every time you see the word to, right, what usually comes after the word to? Can anyone tell me what I taught you about? What kind of verb always comes after the word to? Oh, Zilan, come, tell me. What kind of verb always comes after the word to? Zilan, are you there? No? Zilan, are you there? Okay, never mind. Chloe?
有
老师问什么你就得讲话哦，那么
Chloe, can you answer?
Prepare because to is for business.
A base verb. Very good. Well done. Okay. Base verb, right? And remember, a base verb, right, is a verb that has no S and no ing, right? There's nothing next to it. It's just a verb by itself. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which one is the base verb? Which one has no D, S, ing, nothing? Which number is the base verb? Okay. Ashley, which one is it?
Number 1.
Number 1, right? Yeah. Can you see there's nothing after the verb, right? Everything else, right? There's something here, right? The ing or the ed or the s. So these are not base verbs. Only prepare is the base verb because a base verb is a verb that does not take on anything else after it. It's by itself. It's alone. Okay? So that's what a base verb is. So anytime you see the word to eat, to swim, to jump, to sing, to walk, right? To tell, to shout, all of these are verbs without s, ed, or ing. Okay? So good job, everybody. We are doing very well. Number 7, the students, many of them, right? There are many students, right? More than one, because of the s here. So subject-verb agreement rule here. Can anyone tell me what is the subject-verb agreement rule? Anyone? You don't need to sing it. You just need to tell me what is the subject-verb agreement rule. Okay. Amuchen, can you tell us what is the subject-verb agreement rule again?
When there's a S in the front word, you can put a S after the.
That's not quite the rule, I remember. Can anyone try to remember the rule that I taught you? Toshana? Yeah, go ahead. You can remember the
There
song.
will be no S after the verb.
Can you say that again, please?
There will be no S after the verb.
That's not the complete rule that I taught you. Can anyone remember the full rule that I taught you? You see, you are not very confident of it yet, huh? Okay. Can you remember the song that we sang? Okay, that's the song is the complete rule, right? Can anyone remember it and help us to recall? Okay, Xin go ahead.
One puts S after the verb. Many no S after the verb.
Okay, one puts S. Very good. Many, no S, right? After the verb. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Xin. Okay, so one subject, many subjects, right? So in this case, it's many. So the students is many. So many, there should be no S after the verb. In other words, if I have any verbs here with S, I do not consider it. Okay, so next one. Is it present or past? Here we see that it's past tense, right? Walked is in the ed form, it's in the past tense, right? So again, I do not look at any present tense verbs. So what is the only possible things? The students were doing their work quietly when the teacher walked into the classroom, right? So that's the answer. They were doing when the teacher walked into the classroom. What were they doing when the teacher walked in the classroom? They were doing their work quietly. Okay, it cannot be are doing because that's in the present tense, right? It can only be were doing. Okay, right? So this question, I think most of you got it correct. So that's not a problem. Okay, next one, Randy and his brother. This is very easy. I'm going to go very quickly now. Randy and his brother. Can anyone tell me whether this is one or many? Ashley, one or many?
Many.
Many. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, so this is many, right? So remember, many, no S after the verb, which means it cannot be is, correct? Yeah. So Randy and his brother, cannot be am, right? It doesn't work in this sentence structure. Cannot be have, right? Randy and his brother have studying, cannot work, right? So the only possible answer is are studying in the same primary school. Okay? Next, question number 9. Okay. Yesterday, Sophia. Okay, so yesterday is in the past tense. Sophia is one person. So one puts S after the verb in the past tense. Okay, so in this case, there is only painted or had painted, right? So in this case, it's the simple past tense painted a picture of a rainbow because had painted is a tense you only use when there are two actions happening at the same time. Okay, I don't know whether you all remember this, but we learned this in the second unit, right? So Sophia painted a picture of the rainbow during her art class yesterday. Okay, last question for this section, then we'll go into the easier parts already, okay? Now, for this, right, we have to wait for, okay, can someone tell me what the answer here? We is always mapped onto which pronoun? His, her, our, or their? Michaela? Michaela, please unmute yourself. Sorry?
Number 4. Yeah.
Their turn? Their turn? Are you very sure, Michaela, dear? Their means not including me, you know. We means including me, yeah?
Our.
Right, so you must be very careful, okay? So when we is involved, it includes me, okay? And their is not including me, okay? So you must not choose the wrong pronoun to map onto, okay? We maps onto our because our also includes me, okay? Their does not include me. So the answer is number 3. Be very careful, okay? But it's okay. You must learn from your mistakes, all right, Michaela? Right? Okay, next question, right? So We are looking at prepositions here. Can you remember the booklet games that we played for prepositions? Okay, we did quite a lot of practice here. So I'm very happy to report that you all did well for this section. No problems here. But there were a few questions here that some of you made mistakes in. So I'm just going to go through it very quickly. Okay, so the first question 11 is where some of you made the mistake. So you run what the field? What should the answer be? Okay, Toshana?
Run across the field.
Yeah, correct. You run across a field, right? You run across a field means you run through it, correct? You run into it and you run through it, okay? Now, some of you wrote by the field, okay? Now, you cannot run by the field because that would mean that you're not running in it, you're running beside it, okay? And very often, right, beside the field is a road, right? You wouldn't want to be running on a road, okay? So you want to be running through the field when you're flying a kite. You don't want to run by it, okay? So be careful, right? Try to think logically when you are running with a kite. You want to be running through a field, okay? Or running across a field. Soon the kite was soaring high. Okay, this one I'm just going to give you the answer. It's above her, right? And the keyword is above. It's very easy, right? So it's high above her. Okay, next question 13. Also, some of you made a mistake here. The string got tangled. Okay, how did the string get tangled? How did the string get tangled? Okay, what was the word that would describe how the string got tangled? Zain, go ahead.
Between.
Between, very good, right? So it's between, right? So it's caught, right? Between two branches. The string is caught between the two branches, so it cannot be released. But some of you wrote behind some branches, okay? So if the string is behind the branch, right, it can still be very easily just pulled up, right? But it's because it's caught between the branches that it's stuck, okay? So be very careful that you use the correct preposition. It's not behind the branches, because if it were, it would very easily be released. But because it's caught between two branches, it's stuck, right? And so it cannot come out. Okay, so this question, some of you made a mistake here as well. Okay, question number 14. Jamie turned and saw a lady sitting on a bench. So she turned around, right? Which means that the lady was where? Where was the lady? Because she had to turn around to see the lady. So where was the lady, right? In relation to her position. Where was the lady? Flavius?
Behind her.
Yeah, correct. You have to turn around to see something behind you, right? Okay, you can't have eyes at the back of your head, correct? You have to turn your body to look behind you in order to see something. So in this case, the lady was sitting on a bench behind Jamie. That's why she had to turn around to look, okay? And question 15, after it landed safely on the ground, Jamie sat. This is quite easy. I don't think any of you got any mistakes here. Sat under. Okay, you sit under a tree, right? Do you sit between a tree, or do you sit across a tree, or do you sit above a tree? No, right? So the only possible answer here is under a tree. Okay, so good job. This was quite well done. Now let's move on to the section that some of you made mistakes with. Okay, so this one is testing you on your verbs, right? Your verbs and your tenses. And you need to be very careful when you do this section, because if you don't, right, you will end up putting the wrong verb and the wrong tense that does not fit into the sentence. So always read the sentence out loud to yourself after you fill in the verb to make sure that it is correct, okay? So question 16, last Saturday, Peter went to the stadium with his father. Feeling excited, Peter started to what? To, again, yay, this word to. It's a bonus, right? Because it tells me straight away what is the word after to, right? And we just covered base form, correct? So maybe Zain can tell me the answer since we already know what it is.
Run.
To run, very good. To run without doing any warm-up exercises. Can you see the word to is the clue that tells me the word run is what comes next? Because it's a base form, right? To run without doing any warm-up exercises. While. So the next one is while. While is the clue. While they, so two things are happening here. One, and then it caused the cramp. So while they, more than one, while they, Evelyn?
Was running.
Was? Are you very sure it's was?
Ran.
Oh, no, you don't sound very sure. That's precisely why we are going through. Okay, so while they is many, right? Can it be was, everyone? Can I use was? Cannot, right? Because remember, many, no s after the verb. Was contains an s. So it cannot be was. It cannot be was. So if it's not was, what is the opposite of was? If I have was as one, then what is many, right? What can I use in terms of many? Zilan, go ahead, Zilan.
Were running.
They were running. Thank you, Zilan. Okay, they were running. Okay, so it's not ran. Okay, Evelyn, you must be careful not to just guess randomly. You have to be sure about what is the answer you put in and not just randomly try to fit in any words. Okay, so in this case, they were running, right? They were running. While they were running, Peter felt a cramp in his left leg. Why is it were running? Because there were two things happening at the same time. He was running and then he felt a cramp, correct? So while they were running, Peter felt a cramp. Okay, so were running tells you that two things were happening at the same time. One was going on while it was interrupted by another. In this case, the cramp interrupted the run. Okay, so while many of them were running, Peter felt a cramp in his left leg. Dad, help me, he cried. Peter's father, okay, so in this case, Peter's father, what did Peter's father do? Peter's father, Toshana? Ran. Peter's father ran towards him immediately. Why is this in the past tense? Because it's last Saturday, right? This whole thing happened in the past. So Peter's father ran towards him immediately, right? Very concerned about his son, right? So ran towards him immediately. Peter's father helped him sit and rubbed his leg gently. As he rested, Peter noticed a boy who, what was the boy doing? A boy who, just one boy, right? Just one boy, huh? Just one boy, singular, right? A boy who, okay, yes. Evan, give me the answer, please.
Run.
Who runs?
What?
Are you sure? Are you sure it's runs? Why do you suddenly change to present tense?
No, it's not working anymore.
It's not runs, right, Evan? Good try.
Later.
Thank you very
Now
much.
it will work.
Who is the person making the noise without permission? Nathan, please mute yourself. I can hear everything you are saying and you are disturbing the rest and being recorded. Please mute yourself, Nathan. Thank you. Okay, Clavius, would you like to try? As he rested, past tense, right? What did Peter notice? Peter noticed the boy who
Was running.
was, right? Because one puts S after the verb. A boy was running, okay? Is in the past, right? Was running, right? A boy who was running slowly and carefully, stretching before each step. Can you see the word stretching here? This also gives you a clue that it's a verb with the ing over here. Because verbs happen consecutively and in order. They usually follow each other, right? They are like copycats, right? If one is in the ing form, the other is usually in the ing form. If one is in the past tense form, the other is also usually in the past tense form. They follow each other. Okay, so be very alert. Don't use a verb that's out of place. Okay, and finally, Peter learned the importance of doing some stretching before doing what? Before what? Before doing what? Before what? Okay, Michaela?
Running.
Yes, before running, which is the last word that's left, right? So please, you all must learn how to cancel out the words that you are using. So I cancel out run, I cancel out ran, I cancel out were running, I cancel out was running, I cancel out running, okay? So I cancel out the word that I'm using. I do not use the word runs. I don't use it because it doesn't fit into any of the other blanks, okay? Okay, now let's move on to the comprehension. Okay, Ryan, do y'all find this quite an easy comprehension compared to the one we did? Right, y'all remember the one we did on the graph and the kittens? Y'all remember that one? That was way tougher, right? That was more difficult than this comprehension passage. Okay, so this is quite easy. Did you also notice that this was quite similar to your practice paper? The one that we did just before the exams, right? Before the test. It was quite similar, right? Okay, so there's some similarity here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, now, Ryan was nervous. So I've got to say whether it's true or false. I got to tick the correct one. Ryan was nervous as he approached the older boys. Do you think Ryan was nervous as he approached the older boys? Yes? Okay. Can you see here? Ryan's stomach tightened. His legs wanted to move away like always, right? Can you see that Ryan was very nervous, right? Stomach was very tight. Then he wanted to run away, correct? So definitely true. He was very nervous. Okay. Next, the older boys ignored Ryan and laughed at him. Is that what they did? Okay, let's see. Over here. Okay, he took a deep breath. He confronted them and told them that's not yours, right? And what did the boys do? The boys froze before dropping the school bag and walking away. Okay, Nathan, please stop unmuting yourself, or I will eject you from this meeting. Is that clear? Is that clear, Nathan? Is that clear, Nathan? Nathan, if you don't answer, I'm going to eject you from this meeting and you are being recorded. Is that clear? Okay, I'm removing Nathan from the meeting right now. Okay, now, everybody, please remember that your behavior is very important. I will not tolerate any misbehavior or any flouting of the rules. Did you all hear me giving Nathan very clear warnings and reminders not to misbehave himself? Did you see him unmute himself and make a nuisance of himself? Right, on multiple occasions. I do not tolerate such behavior, and such behavior is not acceptable. If this happens again, I will no longer allow Nathan to join into our future Zoom sessions. So please be on your best behavior. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, and also be reminded that you're being recorded. So please make sure that you behave yourselves, okay? Next, okay? What was I saying before I was interrupted? Yes, they definitely did not ignore, right? So it's false, huh? The older boys did not ignore Ryan or laugh at him. They were very scared. They actually dropped the bag and left, right? Okay, so next, how did Ryan help Jason? Now, this question, oh my goodness, many of you did not get this question right, huh? How did Ryan help Jason? This is an important question. I think 3/4 of you did not get this question correct, huh? So this was a major error. Can anybody tell me in your own words? I'll let you look at the passage, okay? So you can remember it, huh? Let you read it for a while, huh? What did Ryan do to help Jason? Okay, Toshana, go ahead.
This he told to the people, the older boys to that he will tell the teacher if not
Can you try to phrase your answer in grammatically correct English? Keep your tenses consistent. If you want to use present tense, use present tense. If you want to use past tense, use past tense, and phrase it in a complete sentence. Try again, please, Toshana.
the Ryan told the boys that he will tell the teacher if the older boys never give the bag, he will tell the
Don't use the word
teacher.
never, right? Don't use the word never, right? Be very careful that you're using correct English. Never means not a chance, never, okay? Don't use that word. They would not, okay? Or he would not, okay? So Ryan told the boys or warned the boys that he would tell the teacher, okay? That is one possible answer. Yes, that's what he did, right? Right? Can you just copy what was written in the text and say, that's not yours, give it back or I will report it to the teacher? Can you copy that as your answer? Cannot. You cannot copy that as the answer because that's not answering the question. Am I right? The question is asking you what Ryan did to help Jason. So what did Ryan do? Ryan warned the boys or told the boys, okay, that he would tell the teacher, okay? Now, when they heard that, of course, they were frightened and ran away. Am I right? So that's one way that Ryan helped Jason. But this is not the only possible answer, you know. There are other ways to answer this question, right? There are a few other ways to answer this question. Would anybody else have a different way of answering this question besides what I just said? Zilan, you want to try, Zilan? Okay, we'll come to you in a short while, Evelyn. Okay, let Zilan try first. Yeah. Zilan, you want to unmute and give us your possible answer?
If they keep on bullying people, bullying Jason, he'll tell the teacher.
Okay, so your answer is the same as what Toshanov just gave, which was that he would tell the teacher. Had someone got a different answer besides telling the teacher? What else did Jason do to help Ryan? I'm sorry, what else did Ryan do to help Jason? Evelyn, yeah, go ahead. Give us your version.
He when the older boys dropped the bag, he picked up the bag for him.
Okay, and what did he do? He picked up the bag and
he chased away the bullies.
no, he didn't do that, right? Did Ryan chase away the bullies, boys and girls? Did that happen in the story? No, right? Ryan didn't chase away the bullies, right? You cannot write what did not happen in the passage. Is that clear, everyone? You can only write what happened in the story. You cannot make your own story up. That will be a wrong answer, okay? But what he did do was he picked up the bag and returned it to Jason, didn't he? Right? You cannot just say he picked up the bag. You must also say that he returned the bag to Jason. Okay, so that's what he did to help Jason. He picked up the bag that the bullies had dropped and then he brought it back and gave it to Jason. That's how he helped Jason. One way was he threatened the boys to tell the teacher, warned the boys to tell the teacher, and the other way was he retrieved the bag that the bullies had dropped and returned it to Jason, who was the owner. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. Now, if you don't make it clear that Ryan confronted the boys, told the boys, warned the boys, you will not get this mark, okay? Because you're not showing how Ryan helped Jason, okay? And if you say that Ryan picked up the bag, but you don't say he returned the bag to Jason, you will also not get the mark. Because how did Ryan help Jason? By picking up the bag and returning it to him. If you just pick up the bag and hold it, does that help Jason? No, right? You still haven't returned his bag to him, okay? So it's very important that you answer the question. In this case, the question is, how did Ryan help Jason? Okay? Next, question number 24 is quite straightforward. So I'm just going to give you the answer. Okay, so Ryan saw Jason crouching near the basketball court. Do you all agree? Right? He saw him first, right? Then after he saw him, he felt like he should help him, right? If you don't see him, you cannot want to help him, right? Then after he felt like he wanted to help him, he went ahead and confronted the bullies and then handed the school bag to Jason. Okay, can you all see this is the correct order in which the story took place? Most of you got it correct, so I'm not too concerned about this. That's why I'm just going through it. Next, which is the same meaning as brave? Right, this is quite easy, am I right? You all should be able to know which word here has the same meaning as brave, unless you don't know what the meaning of the word is. Okay, which is possible, Okay, Siling, which one?
Courageous.
Courageous, right? Yeah, so you got to tick the word courageous, okay? You can only tick one word. If you tick 2 words, you will get 0, okay? You cannot tick more than 1 word. You have to follow the instructions, okay? Michaela, please don't play with the reaction button, right? It's quite distracting and it is appearing on the recording. So please don't do that. Okay, everybody, I'm going to stop here today. Did you all find that this was clearer after I explained it to you? Okay, very good. I hope you all understand what are some of the common mistakes that you all made. And so when I give you the papers back on Monday, we will go through corrections quickly because I've already explained it to you. And you can always refer back to this video again. I'm very happy to report that you all did quite well, okay? I think there was one person who scored full marks for the test and a lot of you scored above 20 upon 25. So congratulations, good job. But please try to be more careful as you're doing your assessments because some of you made some careless mistakes, okay? Which I will point out to you when I return you your papers on Monday. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, so everybody passed, yay! Nobody failed, yay! Okay, and then we have quite a lot of you who scored above 20. So congratulations and well done. I can see you put a lot of effort into it and all of you annotated your work. which is what I really wanted to see. Okay, so good job. You all annotated, highlighted, made the connections, and tried your best to check your work. So good work, everyone. Okay, I'm very proud of you for your performance. I hope you keep this up for the future assessments and the classwork that we are going to do in the next term. Okay, everyone? So good job. Thank you for your attention. We had the longest session yet. This is 45 minutes or so. I'm glad that you all managed to pay attention. Session. So keep it up. All right. Well done. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Y'all can log off now, and I'll see you on Monday. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Mr. Pang. Mr.
Yes,
Pang,
Evelyn.
is it on Friday got another meeting?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
As in, on Friday there is another Zoom meeting.
My dear, it's Friday today. What do you mean?
The next Friday.
Oh, you mean next week, is it? Oh, no, there will be no more Zoom meeting next week because next week is the last day of school already, okay? So I don't want to give you any more Zoom sessions. We'll continue again in term 2, okay? Yeah, I will make the announcement in class and I'll send a message to your parents as well. Okay? Right, thanks for checking. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Log off now. Bye.